Hollywood. This is Bleu Edmondson, and this is real life, real music.
Real life, real music radio with your host, Kyle Hutton.
Howdy. Howdy, howdy.
He's wearing a Dixie Chicken College Station hat. So let me tell you what that means. In College Station, because I live, a lot of you know, I used to live right here, about 9 miles from Do-Si-Do. Now I live about 26 miles northeast of Bryan, Texas. So we call Bryan College Station home. And when you're at the Dixie Chicken or anywhere near College Station, if you say howdy, you get the loudest howdy back at you. Or if you don't say howdy back, you might get a, I said howdy, damn it. Okay, so we'll try it one more time.
Howdy.
Oh yeah, come on.
For the record, I am not an Aggie. I'm not trying to stolen valor here or anything like that. I spent several formative years of my life in College Station living there. That's where I started. That's where I learned how to play guitar. That's where I started writing. But I absolutely have a very, very soft spot in my heart for everything Bryan College Station, and I love it very, very much. But the Aggie sports thing is a little left of where I need to be. So, God bless Aggies. I just won't be cheering for it.
Fair enough. Okay. So, Blue, it actually, you know, we both made our first records with Lloyd Maines at about the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been running around this scene, I don't know, and somehow I never got to share the stage with you till tonight. So I got to tell you, man, as being
by design.
No, not by design. Maybe on your booking agent side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
But man, I've been a fan of your music since I was watching you climb the charts with songs from your first record that was out there, and enjoying your music for a long time. And I'm glad we finally get to sit down and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, no, me too. I know we've been ping-ponging around each other for a long, long time, and unfortunately never did get to play together, but this is kind of the same thing and a hell of a lot more intimate, so I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad we're able to do something together.
We're glad to have you. And why don't you just pick one you want to kick us off with before I start asking you a bunch of questions?
Okay, sure. I just came out with something new. I'm going to do you a song about pretty things that turn ugly if you don't take care of them. How about that? You boys ready? Forgotten cemetery, abandoned field, half drunk and passing glory, we let madness take the wheel. You were different, you were all I had. American scripture in a world gone mad. Hear me now, it won't be long. One bad breeze, what's left of this town will be long gone, and it's a lovely crooked truth. I won't leave here without you. Now get gone, baby, with your stained glass heart. Everything that's pretty getting blown apart. We were born broke, baby, but I feel alright. You see me coming down the road, honey, by and by. Anybody I could call gave up long ago, trying to force the sun to rise. Is the devil's work alone, but there was always only one. And when I bid you, you did come. Get gone, baby, with your stained glass heart. We're born sick, sugar, but I feel alright. You see me coming down the road by and by. Sky begin to bluff for just one breath. It belongs to her. So meet me with my clothes. After all the bar rooms close. Get gone, baby, with your stained glass heart. Everything that's pretty getting blown apart. Get gone, baby, with your stained glass heart. Everything that's pretty getting blown apart. Born broke, baby, I can still fight. See me coming down the road by and by, by and by, by and by, by and by. Woo! Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So that one's off the EP To the End, the brand new record that's got a lot of people excited, man. A lot of people glad you're back, and I've seen on social. Yeah,
thank
give
you.
them around. I've seen on socials. You know, living vicariously through everybody else that's been at your shows already in other markets. But man, it's
we haven't done many. We've been
being well received though.
Yeah, no, people have been very sweet and very, very kind to not only me but us, and whether it's online or in person. We haven't done a whole lot yet, and probably not gonna. We're not gonna. It's never gonna be like it was. I'm never gonna be on the road like I was. But you know, we've done, I don't know, say a handful, 4 or 5 shows. Some of them just because we needed to be there to help, like the Green Hall thing.
Right.
I did 2 weeks ago, I guess. So Radney Foster and Kelly was a whole bunch of people. But we're kind of just slowly rolling it out, you know what I mean? Letting people live with what the new stuff, and then we're going to come around and try to give people a good couple hours when we're with them, you know? But it's not, you know, like I said, it's going to be in Houston, for example. I was just talking to somebody before the show about this. Is that I think for the most part, when I see all you guys here in town, it's going to be in places like this. You know, it's not going to be a kind of a big thing, because I like to play these, especially the new songs. But what's been really fun to play the old songs this way sounds really, really cool to me in the place that I am right now. So.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, we want to dive in, just a little bit more, you know, later as we roll forward into, you know, the we'll call it a self-imposed hiatus, you know, that you took, and I know all of us as fans are number one, glad you're back. Number two, interested in what was going on during that time period, and hearing about your family and just what's going on in your life. But before we do that, let's go all the way back to that very first record that came out, that kind of put things on the map for you. And I wonder if you would tell us a little bit about the song Traveling Man, and maybe play that one for us.
Yeah, we can do that one. Well, that was that first record is a record called Southland. I had been really kind of bumming around Dallas, where I'm from. For a while, I was playing a place called Adair Saloon in Deep Ellum every Monday night, and kind of building a little following. And then once a month, I would come down to Houston, and every now and again, Firehouse Saloon would throw me a show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is before I had any music out. We were just a bar band, really trying to figure things out. I was 21, didn't know anything, and I got together about 10 or 11 songs that I thought were decent. Turns out they weren't, because I look back on them now and can't listen to them. But the fact is I got you mentioned Lloyd Maines. I got his number from a book. And I got his P.O. box from a book.
There you go.
And I saw him at Poor David's Pub one night playing, and I asked him if I could send him some stuff. He was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, very nice, but he got it a lot. At the time, the reason I knew who he was, I really wasn't even aware of his history as this legendary steel guitar player, the Maines brothers, the whole Lubbock scene, the Joe Ely stuff, all that. I just had seen his name on the back of a bunch of records that I liked.
Yeah.
From Guy Clark and Jerry Jeff Walker to he was doing all the Pat Green records when he was starting out, all the Corey Morrow records, Roger Creager. So everybody I knew was doing stuff with him, and so it just made sense for me to try to get him to work on something with me. And I did, and I sent him just a tape of songs I recorded on my couch, and he called me about 2 weeks after he got it. And I was actually going to College Station. I was on I-45 north of Huntsville, or south of Huntsville. And he called me and said, you want to get in the studio here in a couple of weeks? And I said, absolutely. So this is the Traveling Man was the first song on that tape. It was the first song that I wrote and I kept. At the time when we were just being a bar band, we'd play a bunch of covers, but I would always try to throw 4 or 5 originals in. And this was the first one that I kept. So we naturally put it on the record. And this is one that I still really, really, really like to play. So.
Blue, before you kick it, let me do a technical check real quick.
It.
Are we good back there recording? We're getting a little bit of a low-end hum up here. I don't know what it is. I just want to make sure you're not getting that in
angels.
In the recording. Okay, we're cool, and we're good on cameras. All right. Thank you, Blue.
You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Boys? Later. Nope, not that one. That one.
Stars guide me. Dixie sweet and low all night long. I can hear those fiddles high above me. The woman smiles as I sing my song, yeah. I stood in line, I earned my key, and I know she'll cry when I'm gone. A neon sign calls me to sleep, but I'm wide awake, so I roll on. Traveling man, ride as far as I can stand. My mama cries for the life I choose. I need a beer, it's too damn far away from here. I don't have time to sing those blues. Than I should, but I can't slow down for my destiny. Lord knows I'd stop if I could, but the saints of old lift their glass to me. Yeah, traveling man, ride as far as I can stand. My mama cries for the life I choose. I need a beer, it's too damn far away from here. I don't have time to sing those blues now.
That's Heck. That's Steven. Y'all say hi to Heck and Steven.
What's up, guys?
That was fun. That felt good.
Man, that was fun. I think we're already having fun in the Woodlands on a Wednesday night.
Watch out.
Yeah. Okay, so after Southland, the follow-up was The Band Plays On, and man, you guys were taking off like a rocket. I mean, how? Right after Southland.
Well, that's relative. I don't know if I was taking off like a rocket. I was.
Which kind of rocket are we talking about here?
An extremely slow and drunk rocket.
Well, there you go. There's something to be said for that.
I mean, even after those two records, me and Wade Bone and Stoney LaRue were still driving around in his conversion van, asking bars to let us play, and sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But it's not like I was PJing it around Europe, you know.
How many in those early years? How many shows a year were you pounding out?
I think the most we did was 200, but we were generally in between 165 and 180, 75 or 180. You know, it's like it averages out to like 4 or 5 shows a week. But I mean, they weren't. Again, nobody knew, even with the success of something like $50 in a Flask of Crown, at least here, at least in Texas, Oklahoma, kind of regionally, you know, Arkansas, Louisiana. I mean, some people knew it, in other parts, but not really. So even with the success of that, and Traveling Man did well on the radio and stuff, but it just never, it wasn't like it was lines around the block. So you kind of just showed up where they would let you plug in, and then hope you could turn some people on or whatever. And it's not like we could get on Twitter or Instagram and let people know we were playing, It was,
it was a different
so
deal.
It was really, it was very just hope some people stumble in. And I remember there's twice in my life that I ever set up to play a show and not one person came through the door. And that one was in Amarillo, Texas. And so we just ended up playing 4 songs and then got drunk. Because I mean, not even just somebody, a barfly stumbling in, It was a beautiful night. Wasn't like there was a blizzard going on, And we're just sitting there waiting, and the owner's like, they'll just give it a couple more minutes, push the show time back. And literally, not a drunk college kid, not a barfly, not somebody running from their wife, nothing. So, and once was in Montana, and that one hurt because Montana's gorgeous, and I was really looking forward to going there. And
hoping to be back.
We had 5 shows up there. 4 of them were absolutely awesome, and then one of them was just like, okay, well let's hang out in the mountains. And
man, okay, so
a lot of shows is the long-winded answer.
A lot of shows. But you also played some really cool shows. One of which, back in the day. Smith Music was doing a Live at Billy Bob's series, and it was probably around 2009 that you guys stepped in on that stage and recorded a live record. Tell us a little bit about that experience, and then maybe pick one off that you guys included on that project to play for us.
Sure, yeah, we can do that. I don't know. I mean, it's doing that whole thing was kind of a blur, if only because it was just kind of smack dab in the middle of a, I don't know, to say ongoing tour or whatever is ridiculous because we were just always playing wherever. So it's not like it was one tour. It was just the life we led. But it was smack dab in between 4 or 5 other shows. And so we didn't get a lot of chance to make it as dramatic and as cinematic as maybe you have it in your head, It was just kind of like, show up, make sure it sounds good. Okay, let's play this show and hope people come show up. And they did, and it was packed at Billy Bob's. And the one thing I will say is that when they asked us to do it in 2009, it was right after we have a record called Lost Boy, and it was not long after that came out, and that was doing pretty well. And I think that was part of the reason. Not only am I good friends with the people that run Billy Bob and stuff because they've been so good to me over the years. So I think they wanted to do it because of that, but they also, Lost Boy was doing well. And so when they asked me to do it, it was after like Pat had done a big one, and Ragweed had done a big one. I think Merle Haggard had done his, and so Johnny Lee, I think, had done one. It was early on in the process, but already some big names had done it. So it was really, really cool, and I was super, super nervous to do it. But it ended up being absolutely really, really cool, great night. I don't know in terms of, success, how that series shakes out, meaning I don't know how ours did versus anybody else's, but I do know that I get requests all the time, whether it's online or in person, from somebody who says their favorite song of ours is off of that record, which is cool because it's a live record. And let's be honest, sometimes I can
that can go either way.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not exactly a crooner, so when they say nice things about it, it makes me happy. But anyway, it was an absolute pleasure to make that, and it's really, really cool, and it's for legacy. This, thinking of legacy like I do a lot. It's a really cool thing to have in my. In my arsenal, I guess.
Well, play one y'all included on that project.
In American Saint. All right. The Concho Valley's on fire tonight, spilling out into the street. The blessed scream of a newborn dream. We're making love in my backseat. All of us together in the glow of the dusty headlights. All the little pretties with the stars in their hair, sipping Tito's and Crystal Light. And it's sound checks and train wrecks, lost boys and the rejects, fallen angels dancing to the music, drifting softly on the southern wind. We're talking like the hero we won't be, spitting out the game little Jimmy sold me. We're still fighting for each other, it feels like we'll never win. American Saint, American Saint. Philly Joe lives west of Alice, the hippie prince of the wild. He got pinched for possession in a real hard land, but he never ever lost his style. He still works the rigs 6 months out of the year. Old crow fever, a story to tell. He's got a menthol behind his ear. And it's sound checks and train wrecks, lost boys and the rejects, fallen angels dancing. My God, they're dancing on the wind. We're talking like the heroes we won't be, spitting out the game little Jimmy sold me. We're still fighting for each other, but it feels like we'll never win. American Saint, American Saint. Now I'm north of Waxahachie. I wonder where I'm gonna go from here. All the Baptists say that if I don't change, mama, I won't see next year. It's just sound checks and train wrecks, lost boys and the rejects, fallen angels dancing to the music, drifting on the southern wind. We're talking like the hero won't be, spitting out the game little Jimmy sold me. We're still fighting for each other, but it feels like we'll never win. American Saint, American Saint, American Saint. Yeah. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
All right, so let's go back to the new EP, to the end, and maybe, of course, I want to ask you about your producer on the record. You know, we kind of know him here on Real Life Real Music just as a guest and one of our favorite songwriters, Mr. Wade Bowen. But yeah, tell me first off, but before Wade even comes into the picture, tell us a little bit about your break from the road. and really kind of what inspired you to approach Wade and get back into the studio so that you could come out and do this for us again.
Okay. There's not a ton to it, I guess. My break, I just, I needed to take a break from a lot of things, from most things, actually. I'd been on the road so long that I kind of lost perspective. And so a 2-week, 3-week break turned into a year, turned into, I guess, 8 years, really. Strange. I mean, in the middle of that was the whole COVID thing, and let's not get started on that. But the point is that I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anything worth saying, and I didn't want to waste people like y'all. I didn't want to waste your time asking you to literally come out and pay money to hear me play songs that I wasn't very inspired by at the moment. I felt dishonest if I did that. So I took a little break and never really gained any kind of perspective that made me want to go back at any time soon. So I thought, well, until I have something to say or want to write something that means anything, when I feel that way, I will do it. You know, I never quit or anything. I just till I could be honest, I can do other things. Turns out, you know, I just kind of sat on my ass and didn't really touch a guitar or write anything for a while. But eventually I did, and I built a house in Terlingua, Texas, down on the border, a long way from here. But I try to get down there as much as I can, and when I did that, me and Wade happened to be in Terlingua. He was at my wedding there, and he pulled me aside and said, "Listen, me and Wade go back like car seats. He's one of my dearest friends and somebody I deeply respect." And he said, "I've done some things production-wise. I've been behind the booth for some of his and Randy's, those Hold My Beer records that they did." And so he said, "I don't know if you're going to come or when." He said, I guess he knew if I was, but he goes, "I don't know when you are, but when you are and you want to record new songs, would you like to do it with me?" And I said, "Absolutely. I 100% do. I think that would be really, really fun." And essentially, he came through on his promise, and we did, and we recorded this new batch at a place called Curb Studios in Nashville. Wade handled everything like he'd been doing it for 25 years. He was an absolute pro. I love him to death. And because of him, more than anything I did, the 6 songs on this new To the End and the 6 songs that are going to be on the next one that I'm almost done writing are going to sound great because of him, because of how good he was in the studio, and I'm glad to be able to call him a friend.
Well, let me ask you, because the new disc, if you don't have it yet or haven't been streaming it...
It's not a disc, yeah.
Yeah, not a disc, sorry. I show my age. If you plugged in the 8-track and took a listen...
Tell us more, Granddad.
Yeah. That's not funny. No. The record sounds great, and I know I've heard you talk. I've heard you talk about some of your heroes, and they, you know, they run the gamut of honky tonk rockabilly to rock and roll. You know what I mean? And when Absolutely. I listen to that record, knowing that Wade produced it and knowing some of Wade's favorite artists and hearing you talk about some of your favorite artists, there are just moments in that record that I feel like Springsteen would just grin and go, "Yep, I get it." And I mean, there's just some great sonically.
It's kind of you say. Well, yeah. I mean, look, Springsteen. If you're a fan, it's probably relatively obvious that he's an influence, and I'm a fan of his. But Wade, same way. He came up almost identically musically that I did,
right,
in terms of looking up to the same kind of, and Springsteen was a big, so it was bound to leak in there, and I'm glad it did, because it's honest.
Well, it's super. So tell us about the song. It's the second song on the track. First of all, the whole record, if you look at the cover art, it looks like you got a little ghost theme going on throughout the entire thing. So tell us a little bit about that tune.
Oh, okay. Well, it's one I started writing years ago, and I never finished until I finally got inspired, and I ended up writing at least 3 of those songs that are on the EP pretty quickly, and I always had this song nagging me, and so I went back and revisited it, and the stuff I didn't like I just took out, plugged in some stuff, made the car go, and it turned into a really, really pretty song. And I think the point I was trying to make about permanence and about what really matters is relatively obvious when you really sit down and look at it, and it doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in on this planet, on this realm, you know. So that was the message, and I think it came across, at least to my ears, pretty loud and clear. So
You can play it for us?
sure. This is called Let's Be Ghost. Gotta get to work, I'm almost home. 1 car, 3 jobs, and a rent home. My life and this ride are both on E. She deserves better, but she prays for me. To get better, but I spoke too soon. The job in San Diego just never came through. Her daddy got me on at the Clifton Mill. His favorite daughter serves drunks at the Aztec Grill. It's a shotgun blast of a long lost prayer. The dream is just a lie. You're not there. Living's just dying when you're broke around here. Let's be ghosts on the coast somewhere. Let's be ghosts on the coast somewhere. Romance of being born is dead. All I really want to do is fight. Well, when I pick her up from work, I'm gonna show her my hand. It's gonna make it right. Her simple heart burns. Honey, let it light our way. Good God, she got a love. It's a love that just don't break. It's a shotgun blast, long lost prayer. A dream is just a lie if you're not there. Living's just dying when you're broke around here. It's a shotgun blast, long lost prayer. A dream is just a lie if you're not there. Living's just dying when you're broke around here. Let's be ghosts on the coast somewhere. Let's be ghosts on the coast somewhere. Thank you very much. It's kind of.
So
Preach.
Let's go way back to when you wrote your first song. How old were you when you first took a stab at songwriting, or even knew it was something you wanted to try to attempt?
Relatively late in life in general for people who do this. I was living in College Station. Kind of half-assed going to Blinn, mostly just kind of hanging out with my friends. I never, and this is again nothing against the Aggies, I never wanted to go to A&M, but out of high school in Dallas, I don't know, a handful, maybe half dozen or 7 or 8 of some of my best buddies went to school down there. And essentially I was lonely and missed them. So I said, I'm going to go down there, I'll get a place and I'll hang out with you guys and I'll just go to Blinn, make my parents happy, and then I'll figure it out, wherever I'm going to end up. And I had got a roommate named Doug Sanders, who's a country singer himself, very good. And he had a guitar laying around. I'd never picked up a guitar, didn't know anything about it, never even occurred to me. Certainly not to sing, but definitely not to play guitar or really write. And just like anything else, I kind of picked it up. Kind of got fascinated by it and would mess around and taught myself in, kind of the basics just by watching people, really.
Yeah.
And then got some help along the way from some more established guitar players. I became friends early on with Roger Kreger, who was just starting out. And so I would run around with him and essentially just be a running buddy, but drink and going to shows. Nobody came to his shows at the time because nobody knew who he was, but he was out there trying to make it. And I would sling his T-shirts for him or whatever, and then we'd all party afterwards, and it was a great time. And his guitar player, Scott Owen, great guitar player, was kind enough to show me stuff, or whatever, and essentially get me to the point where I could do it on my own. And that was it. I was kind of off and running. I got really, really inspired early on by people like Guy Clark and Robert Earl Keen and Springsteen for sure, and Lyle Lovett. There was a whole bunch of people in that mix for me, and I kind of just wanted to be in the conversation. It was never. There was never really kind of any brass ring. There was, I just wanted to get up on stage and have people say that you don't suck at this. You're trying, and it's pretty good, man. So right on.
Gotcha.
And luckily they did for the most part. So I never quit or never got too discouraged. And like I said, my first shot at trying to make a record, I had never even been in a studio before. I had no clue how any of this stuff worked. I just got Lloyd's name and address and sent it to him, and he easily could have told me to screw off, or whatever. Why he didn't, I don't know, looking back now, but he didn't. And then all of a sudden, it was just kind of what you do. Now I'm a songwriter, Even it doesn't matter if they're any good or how many people they resonate with or whatever. That's what I was. And then the main goal then became, okay, well, you need to get as good as you can. The point is it's a marathon, not a sprint. That old saying is that I knew that I wanted to be better now, my age, than I. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%. I knew it wasn't like a peak. This is the very, very beginning, and I couldn't believe that people were buying the records or coming to the shows because I knew that. Oh, this is going to get so much better. I'm going to have so much more to say at some point. I just was a dumb kid at the time. But it turned into, I totally fell ass backwards into this. I had no plan. This wasn't my passion growing up. I don't know anybody in my family that plays music or anything. I just kind of became friends with the right people. Like I said, Kreger early on, Wade, Stoney, Bolin, the Ragweed guys. That whole crew was really, really fun to be a part of, especially in the early days when nobody knew what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a pivotal time, I think.
I think you're right.
In what
Looking
we
back
call
at it
Texas
now,
Red Dirt
sure.
music, I'll tell you a similar Lloyd story in a minute, but first I want to ask you about what I think is one of the most interesting titles on the new EP, as well as it's a great song, and I want to hear a little backstory on it, and that's The Princess and the Hustler.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one, like I said, I got a place in Terlingua, and I try to go down there. I love riding there. It's a gorgeous place. It's in the middle of the desert. It's a long way out. There's 500 miles from Austin, so I don't know how far it is from here, but the point is, it's a really, really cool thing, and it got me. Every time I'm down there, I listen to a ton of old '70s kind of redneck rock, just driving down there, and I always get stuck on Jerry Jeff Walker stuff, and I thought this. I'm gonna do my best to pay homage to the way I feel about Terlingua as an entity, to Jerry Jeff Walker, to Austin, call it 1969 through 1978, maybe. The point is that this whole thing that we are doing, whatever you call this kind of music, there's a bunch of people doing it now, and it spans a giant spectrum. My favorite kind of this music, whatever it is that time, and I don't hear anybody. I'm not aware of anybody that does it like that anymore, and that breaks my heart. So I wanted to write a fun thing as kind of a tip your hat, not only to Terlingua but to Jerry Jeff and to us as Texans. So that's what this is. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
About as high as Texas gets, living out where the preachers and pavement sweat. I knew what I had in you, so I did what a desperate man do. We were stupid in all the right ways, the way an Amarillo Waffle House lay. Every kid was a claim on a bold but beautiful search for the bank. Vida, a sangria, wine again. Uh-oh, who's high again? We are the crown and the knife, the princess and hustler life. This kicks ass with the band. No tell secrets on my chest. You make the south wind hold its breath, like peace for the sanctified. But the whole congregation is fried, and it started to rhyme for me. I could see all that you could see. Speak truth, shame the devil, drink for free. Your sweet refrain hangs like a dream. Vida, sangria, wine again. Uh-oh, who's high again? We are. Woo. It's the crown and the knife, the princess and hustler life. It's dusk into Lingua town. The sky is a carnival now. It's the high of original sin, the curse of the sovereign. How you quietly laugh at me, how it turns off gravity. Van drops and gold are free, yeah. Vita, hey, it's sangria wine again. Oh, who's high again? We are. It's the crown and the knife, the princess and hustler. Vita, Vita, yeah, sangria wine again. Oh, who's high again? We are. Yeah. Oh, it's the crown and the knife, the princess and hustler life.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Are y'all having a good time tonight so far? Okay.
Cheers, guys. Here's to you, man. Thank y'all for being here. It's Wednesday. I know you got work and school and all sorts of stuff. Thanks for being here.
Let's do this before I forget to do it. I need to get a liner for the radio show, the intro to the radio show. Okay?
All right.
And so what I need you to do is say, this is Bleu Edmondson and this is real life, real music.
Just...
This is Bleu Edmondson and this is real life, real music. Then I need you guys to just go absolutely nuts, okay? For about 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna cut you. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go like this, okay? But it'll be great. Play along.
Hollywood. This is Bleu Edmondson, and this is real life, real music.
Y'all are here. That's great. Okay, so Bleu, really fast, just in case you said you fell bass backwards into this. Let me tell you a quick Lloyd Maines story. Krager and I met, in the early 90s when he was at A&M for the first time, okay? We met and we're writing some songs, and I'd made my first trip up to Nashville and came back and had this handful of song ideas. And he and I wrote a song called Feel Again that wound up on his first record that he did with Lloyd Maines. And so that was the first song I'd ever heard that I had been a part of writing, recorded in that way. You know, Gene Elders was playing fiddle and Lloyd was on dobro.
Sure,
and you know what I'm saying? Like that moment of, wow, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And so then to piggyback off of Roger, I'm like, hey man, you think I could reach out to Lloyd about, making a record? And he said, sure, so I sent, lyric sheets and demos to that same P.O. box. And Lloyd agreed to do the disc. And then when I got to Cedar Creek the first day to meet, I said, hey Lloyd, how you doing, man? Kyle Hutton, nice to meet you. And he went, I thought this session was with Kyle Hunt.
There was a lot of Kyles at the time.
And he's like, let's make a record.
All right, fair enough.
So we did. I was the wrong Kyle, but he had pity on me, and we made a record anyway.
That's very kind of him.
Yeah, it was.
He's a saint.
He is. He's an amazing individual. But that time there was so much going on. Texas music seemed to be enjoying a resurgence through, Pat and all the exposure he was getting, and Corey.
The whole new world. Yeah.
It was really a cool time to be a songwriter and not have to go wait in line for some record company or some executive to tell you that you had permission to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I got to be honest. I've heard a million of those kind of stories, but to my point earlier, I didn't go through any of that. There was no brass ring for me, so I wasn't trying to beat down doors, whether it was in Nashville or in Austin. I guess is probably where a lot of those, especially at the time, labels were. Like I didn't even know what that was. I was just making a record. I had no clue. So if a bar told me I couldn't come play there, or they didn't have a spot for me, whatever, I could get pretty frustrating. But
Yeah.
in terms of the bigger picture, I was too dumb. I was too naive, and certainly, I'm sorry, y'all couldn't hear me. I'm over here talking. Jesus. But yeah, so I didn't get a chance to get. I didn't have a chance to get frustrated in that way. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I saw it from a very small, the very, very beginnings level of my career. I saw a lot of that as Pat and Jack and Charlie and Bruce really tried to make that big push in the late 90s, early 2000s. Nashville did.
Yep.
On artists like them, songwriters like them. It was interesting to watch. I was just a fan and, a little bit in the business, but I mean, it's not like I was anybody or anything, so I got to kind of watch it up close and stuff, and it's rarely is it successful in that way, which is the whole reason you start writing them yourself in the first place, or start playing them yourself in the first place. Nobody can tell you what the hell to do,
Right.
This is my thing. I get it if you go, not for me. Fair, I get it, but I'm still putting this shit out,
That's right. So it's always nice when people show up. So that's great.
Right.
Okay, let's go back again and tell us about Last Time.
Last Time was a song off of Lost Boy, the Lost Boy album, and it did really well radio, certainly regionally, and then a few other pockets around the country. But I wrote most of it on a curb outside of a place called Lee Harvey's in downtown Dallas. I had been there hanging out with some friends, kind of lost and aimless or whatever, and it's literally pretty much about how I felt about things, literally that second, that moment when I was waiting for a ride. I jotted most of this down on a piece of paper I had in my pocket, and that turned into Last Time, and it's a quasi country song. I think it's a country song. Some people say it's not, but it's very much a country song in my mind. No heartbreak song.
Play that one for us.
Show enough. Empty parking lot, half a cigarette. I got it off the ground, so it's a little wet. I'm on the south side, I'm walking sideways. I got too drunk again. Now it's a cold night, kinda late this year. Plans made, the cops are gone, we're out of here. I need to catch my breath, it's 3 a.m. I still miss someone. This is the last time I beg the sun to shine. Addicted to a memory, and it's killing me. This is the last time. I should hide at home, I can't drive. Everybody's calling me to see if I'm alive. They say they've got a friend I just need to meet, and she ain't ever heard of you. This is the last time I beg the sun to shine. Addicted to a memory, and it's killing me. This is the last time
I beg the sun to shine. I'm addicted to your memory, and it's killing me. This is the last time I try to change your mind. I'm addicted to the misery, and it's killing me. It's killing me. We won't stop.
Yeah. Unless you want to. You want to? Okay.
Well, here's the deal. Let me tell you what I did.
You tell me, man.
I texted my
Thank
buddy.
you guys very much for that.
I texted Wade Bowen this morning, and I said, "Man, what do I need to ask?
Name drop.
What do I need to? Yeah, name drop. Well, you had him produce your record, so he fits the
Yes,
conversation.
he does. I know.
But I said, what do I need to ask? And he said, man, I think one of the interesting things is how we kind of shaped the song King of the Dark to have some relevance to the comeback. To the comeback, and he said, "Ask him about that." So tell us about King of the Dark, and then give us the acoustic version of it, if you will.
Sure, yeah. King of the Dark. I wrote that with a guy named Mondo Science. I don't co-write a lot. I tend not to. There's a handful of guys that if we're in a room together, generally by accident, by chance or something, then we'll generally pull out some guitars and just try to see what we can come up with. But Mondo's a good songwriter, a really good friend, and he writes a lot with Stoney and Wade as well. And we'd kind of gotten together one afternoon, really not even intending to write. I had the first 3 lines of this song I had written down on a scrap of paper, and I said, help me finish this. And I said, I just want it to be, I said, if you were doing like 95 down I-10, I said I want it to sound like that, but I want it to be as simple and as accessible, for lack of a better word, as it could. I didn't want to screw it up by trying to be too fancy or be too anything, certainly anything that I'm not. And that song is pretty emblematic of who I am as a songwriter, and certainly what we do live with a full band. People in Houston haven't seen that yet because we haven't come here with a full band show yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to really, really enjoy it if you like what we do. So that's what I wanted, and he obliged. He knew exactly what I wanted. I said, let's just do a poor man's Springsteen song, and he said, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, y'all want to give it a whirl?
You want to give it a whirl?
Why not? We can always edit things out.
Good.
I make my living at night. All the kids are asleep. You say you want something real, I'll take you 10 miles deep. The cost of losing is high if you're afraid of your heart. Make my living at night. I'm the king of the dark. They kicked me out on the street with my guitar in my hand. I got into a bind. I turned into a man. Saw the dawn of your life right from the very start. Busting out of the gate, I'm the king of the dark. Oh, it's a luxury, faith a necessity. Hold tight to the best of me. me. Baby, count the miles on your rosary. Locked and loaded, let's go. Flying the flag of desire across the Permian field under the cover of night. They're gonna chew us up if we don't know who we are. Let your grace shine on, light up the king of the dark. And on, light up the king of the dark. Shine your grace on me, I'm the king of the dark.
Thank you very much.
That's a great tune, man.
Appreciate you
Thanks
saying
for
that.
playing that.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
great song. Okay,
fun to
now
play.
I also understand you had some pretty cool background tracks cut for this cut on this record, and so I was also I was also told to ask you who sang background tracks on this record.
Well, specifically on The Princess and Hustler, we had specifically we had Stoney LaRue sang in the back of that. Jamie Lynn Wilson and Wade sang and made it. He did it as a surprise to me. I walked in. He had set it all up behind the scenes and done it. And he pulled me into the studio and said, "Listen to this." And they were singing on that song, and it made my heart really, really happy. And I texted them and told them how proud of them I was and how much I loved them, and thank you for that. And it was really, really cool. It turned out to be awesome, and they sound amazing. So not many people know that, but in the background of Princess and Hustler is Jamie Lynn, Stoney, and Wade.
That's very cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Made it feel like home.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so you mentioned that you don't do a whole lot of co-writing, but
Probably should.
But you co-wrote one of my favorite songs that Wade Bowen cut, a song called "Resurrection."
Yeah, Wade Bowen cut a Bleu Edmondson song.
There you go.
That's what
I like
happened.
that.
I'm kidding. Can you imagine if I was like that? No. I'm kidding. Yeah, we wrote a song called "Resurrection" on my couch in New Braunfels when we were living together. Yeah, and we both ended up obviously putting it on our separate records. Mine went that way and his went that way, and perfectly mirrored our personalities and kind of who we are as people. Mine was a very angry song. His was a very, kind of heartfelt.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's got to be this way, hun, but nobody would kind of believe that he's mad. Mine has like probation officer written all over it.
I love it. Hey, do you know Chuck Cannon? Have you ever met Chuck Cannon?
Chuck Cannon?
Yes, he's a songwriter.
That sounds.
He wrote a song called "Daddy and the Devil."
Daddy and the Devil.
Yeah, that Wade cut and put on a record. And one night, Chuck came in to do the show here, and I asked him to play "Daddy and the Devil." And he walked out in the parking lot after the show, and a couple of cowboys went over to him and said, "Hey, man, we have a problem with you saying you wrote that Wade Bowen song." So he almost got thrown on in the parking lot over a song that he wrote that Wade recorded. So anyway, "Resurrection." You want to play your version of it? Yeah. All right.
Can you turn this guitar up just a hair bit more, Andrew? Thank you, man. Died 1,000 times since you left me. Stared down the barrel of 1,000 loaded gun. I caught a midnight ride
somewhere to be born again with the rising of the southern sun. To dawn washing over Memphis, seeing through the eyes of a newborn child. Well, I remember you always hated Elvis, so I think I might stay here a while. Resurrection. Cheap perfume, cheaper whiskey. She winked at me when she said last call. And when the parking lot was empty, we made love in a bathroom stall with Jesus' love written on the wall. Resurrection. Oh, resurrection. You see, I died so many times since you left me. I stared down the barrel of 1,000 loaded guns. I caught a midnight ride, headed somewhere to be born again with the rising of the southern sun. Born again with the rising of the southern sun. Born again with the rising of the southern sun. 'Cause I am your southern sun. I am your southern sun. Resurrection. Oh, resurrection. 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 Resurrect. Won't somebody save me?
Thank you for knowing it.
So, okay. So on this, on the break that you took, you know, the 2-week, 3-week turned into 8 years.
Yeah.
Kind of break. You know, first off, you mentioned you knew you'd come back when you had something to say. And thanks for bringing us the new EP, and thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
You know, we look forward to the. We look forward to the next one.
Thank you for giving me a reason.
We look forward to the next one as well. One of the other things you said is that, I mean, you just, you had some stuff to work out. You were tired of running the road. So, like, what I wonder is how would you summarize, like, the newer, improved, healthier Bleu Edmondson that's back and ready to be back in the music business playing shows for us again? How are you doing? How's your family? How has life changed since the break?
Well, I mean, it's a strange question. Since that time, I lost both of my parents, but I gained children and a wife, so that's a good trade, I guess. That is, I mean, just by default, it gives you an entirely different perspective on things, and it's been nothing but great for me and my health, both emotional and physical, and it makes it a lot of fun. It's a part of my life that I started very, very late, obviously, because running the road, essentially, for lack of a better term, was kind of the priority, and at some point that gets kind of old and kind of sad, really, when you think about it, at least to me. And so I needed to get right and get back to what I knew to be a decent human being. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, welcome back. All right, I've been leading you all over the place. Why don't you pick a song you want to play for us?
All right, let's do a love song, huh? I don't. I guess I in my opinion, the first records that I put out was let's talk about Lost Boy. Lost Boy was a record that I thought had weird but love songs all over it, and people sometimes said that I didn't never write love songs, or some of the songs I was writing were sad, and I kept writing sad songs. Some guy in Des Moines, Iowa asked me if everything was all right after a show. He was like 60. He's like, he goes, "Everything okay, man?" And I said, "Yeah, no, I'm good. You're you?" And he said, "You play a lot of sad stuff." Well, they're not all sad. Some of them, sure, but they're not all sad to me. And this is one sometimes I think can be misinterpreted. This is one of my favorite love songs I've ever done. It's called The Echo.
The sinners and the saints and the suicide girls, passion in the darkness and the pawn shop pearls. One place, one time, one love. We own the night. The tender souls wanted the faith that all gone. The neon on Lamar came rumbling on. Swore they wouldn't take us down without a fight. Hopeless hunted hunters waging war on the stars. Cheered the revolution from a rooftop bar. Swore to one another only we could make it right. We sang maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight we can. Maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight we can. I remember your kiss like TNT. How it rattled every long gone part of me. In the heat of the night you shook when you said my name. The precious drop of sweat running down your back like a southbound train burning down the track. Two martyrs in a world that would never be the same. Among the midnight runners, the teenage stunners, we were searching for the light of day. And we hoped against hope to find one voice to sing what we were desperate to say. We said maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight we can. Maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight we can. No. down your face like a sad, broken prophet's parade. While this dirty city sleeps tonight to the gutter rat serenade. Underneath that holy street light, we can take it all back again. And it's the echo of the wounded heart in the night that proves we were born to win.
Again, Mr. Hank Rivera, Mr. Stephen Marcus. Thank you.
Have y'all had a good time tonight?
I hope so.
Man. Blue,
I know we're short on time. I'm sorry.
I want to tell you thank you for, on behalf of everybody in here and us and everybody that'll be listening to this show or watching it on the video podcast, thanks for making us one of your shows on the comeback, man.
Of course,
we
man. Thank you for the
being
invite, and I knew where it was going to be. I knew the kind of thing this was going to be, and this kind of vibe, really scratches me where I itch, and I thank y'all for being here for that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. We got time for a couple more, and I know there's probably two you're not going to get out of here without playing, and one of them I got to ask
These
you.
two.
You know, of course, the whole Southbound record is great. But the one that Texas radio, from everybody from, Frank Jackson and everybody else, just wore plumb out, whether they were selling off the shelves at Hastings on the end cap, or if it was Hastings, come on, baby. Or if they were spinning it on all the stations that reported to the old Texas music chart that my friend Katie Key was running.
Kick FM was a Kick here in Houston, right?
Yeah, Kick FM here in Houston.
Yeah, they were the first ones to spin this song, and first big show I ever had, big, like legitimate, big, not bar, was Willie Nelson's Picnic here in the Woodlands.
Yeah,
it was here in the Woodlands, and it was my first big time being on a big giant stage, and I flipped out, and the show was pretty mid, I'm sure, but God, I got that memory forever, and that's all I wanted. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, this is not my wife's favorite song because it makes me want to drink Crown. It's just how it works.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Play that one for us.
Show. Feel free to clap. Feel free to make some noise, man. That's what we're here for. You got a few drinks on you on a Wednesday. I like it.
$50 and a flask of Crown. I grab my Stetson and I pull it down. I wrote the devil riding into town with $50 and a flask of Crown. Hey! My jeans are faded, my boots are brown. I stand for passion and I stand my ground. There ain't nothing gonna hold me down with $50 and a flask of Crown. Mama's like your daughter's up, throw away the key. And the boys are drinking, we're feeling kind of mean. We're in the mood to hear some country sound with $50 and a flask of Crown. Anything can happen on a Texas Friday night. If you don't mind your manners, you don't mind a fight. Fight! Fight! We're in the mood to rock and roll around with $50 and a flask of Crown. Hey, ha! Feel free to sing. That's why they call it a sing-along. Don't make me look stupid on the internet. I'm gonna AI a stadium back there. Thank you, Japan, hashtag. $50 and a flask of Crown. I grab my Stetson and I pull it down. I wrote the devil riding into town with $50 and a flask of Crown. Mama's like your daughter's up, throw away the key. Yeah, me and the boys are drinking, we're feeling kind of mean. We're in the mood to hear some country sound with $50 and a flask of Crown. I got $50 and a flask of Crown. That's right!
Cheers.
Man. Did y'all bring any merch with you tonight?
No, sir.
No merch.
I'm not
No
that.
merch.
I'm not
So,
that full of myself.
Be sure to stream on your favorite listening
Yeah,
platform.
you know, I'm-
the new EP to
We'll
the
have a ton
end
of stuff at some point. I
from
promise.
Bleu Edmondson. Be sure to check that out. Special thanks again to
Yeah, my
the
new-
Do-Si Do for having such an amazing
Yeah,
place
absolutely.
to play original songs, and to my friends from Waste Connections. Man, not too long ago they raised $2 million here in the Woodlands
Yeah, that's
to
great.
benefit children's charities. That's Waste Connections. You know, everybody needs garbage service, and I recommend Waste Connections because of what they do for the community and for the kids in the community. So, exercise the right choice. That's all we're saying. Blue, thank you again for
My
being
pleasure,
here,
man.
This
Thank
was,
you for having
This
me.
was way overdue, and let's do it again when you put out the next EP.
You got it, man.
Because we'd love to talk about it again.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Man, our pleasure. Finish us off with one more tonight. Take us home.
Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for taking time out of your lives. Thanks. This is just God bless Brandon Jenkins wherever he is.
Please forgive me for what I'm about to do. But I'm running on empty, and my options are few. Now you know I did the best that I can. But I've done hit rock bottom, so I can't stand. I can't stand. Come on. 'Cause I lost my job, my bills are getting bigger. Crying, baby, about to lose my mind. $100 habit. Ain't got a penny, my woman ran off with a friend of mine. Can't keep a job, too fucked up. DHS about to take my kid. Try to get well, keep getting sicker. Sitting in the parking lot, my finger on the trigger. Never meant to hurt anyone. And I'll face the consequences for everything I've done. And Lord, well, sometimes I wonder if you're even there. 'Cause my burden is back-breaking, more than I can bear. Because I lost my job, my bills are getting bigger. Crying, baby, about to lose my mind. $100 habit, ain't got a penny, my woman ran off with a friend of mine. Can't keep a job, too fucked up. DHS about to take my kid. I try to get well, keep getting sicker.
Feel free to sing along. Maybe Brandon can hear us wherever he is. I like to think so anyway. 'Cause I lost my job, my bills are getting bigger. Crying, baby, about to lose my mind. $100 habit, ain't got a penny. My woman ran off with a friend of mine. I can't keep a job, I'm too fucked up. DHS, man, they're gonna take my kids. I try to get well, I keep getting sicker. I'm sitting in the parking lot, my finger on the trigger. Sitting in the parking lot, my finger on the trigger. Been delightful. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bleu Edmondson.